All right, today we're going to be talking about frozen shoulder or adhesive capsulitis. What happens with this frozen shoulder is, if we look closer at our shoulder capsule here, all these little fibers in through here all the way around start to become a little bit stiff, a bit inflamed, you get some scar tissue in there, and what that causes is our shoulder just gradually gets a little bit constricted and we start to lose a lot of our range of motion in our shoulder. This happens in 3 phases. And we've got the first one, which is the freezing phase. Usually when we see people here in the clinic, you've probably noticed that you're starting to lose a little bit of range overhead. It's getting a little bit sore on a few different movements. Not particularly blocked in any direction, but it's just getting a little bit stiff and it wasn't quite what it used to be. If we suspect it might be a true frozen shoulder, what we'll do is we'll send you off for diagnosis via ultrasound or MRI, and they can tell if it's really getting those true adhesions through this shoulder capsule and we're dealing with a true frozen shoulder, or if maybe you've just got a generally stiff shoulder. What we then do in phase 2, which is going through the frozen phase, if you have been diagnosed with that frozen shoulder, we can try to maintain as much range of motion as you had before, and it's going to be getting reduced and getting a little bit stiff and blocked throughout these 2 ranges. So we're going to make sure you get as much as you can, but it is going to start to reduce a little bit more and you're not going to be able to really push through much of that range. Probably going to be quite reduced in terms of your overhead work. But what you can do, which is good news, is you're going to be able to do most of your stuff below 90 degrees. So even though you can't reach up there, you should be pretty pain-free and working at a computer. If you're doing desk work, you should be good to go through with those sort of daily activities, but you are just going to be reduced in terms of that overhead work. Phase 3, when we find out that it starts to thaw, so the thawing phase, is when you start to get a little bit more of that range back. It doesn't feel quite as blocked as it used to be. And that's when we can really start to get quite aggressive with the stretching, making sure you're getting that range of motion back as quickly as you can. And then we can really start to tackle it with some more strength work and really trying to strengthen those muscles around the shoulder and the chest and the back to make sure that when you do get that full thaw and when you can start doing all your stuff overhead again, that you're in a nice strong space to be able to go back to doing everything you were before. During this phase, we can work pretty strongly with you each week, just really get you back doing as much as you can. Those are the 3 phases. They're quite complicated. It's a long process, but with our help, with your help, with a lot of buy-in, we can really get some good results out of it. And if you've got any questions about it, if you feel like you might be getting a frozen shoulder, let us know in the comments or come into the clinic, we can chat to you about it. Cheers.